Hi, my name's Emma Favreau. I'm pre-PT here at URI, and we are interviewing a optometry student today. If you guys want to introduce yourselves, go for it.
My name is Doria. I'm a senior kinesiology major, also pre-PT at URI, finishing up last semester. So, yeah.
Awesome. So hi, everyone. My name's Ariana Azzoli. I'm 26. I graduated from URI in 2017 now, and I took a gap year. And then I started at NECO, which is the New England College of Optometry, and it's in Boston. Yeah, but before URI, I actually went to CCRI to get my associates before. And then, yeah, so then I went to URI and now I'm here.
Awesome. So I'm going to start off asking you questions. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what your associates was for, and your school background, and just what you're doing right now?
Yeah, definitely. So I graduated high school in 2012, and in high school, and just growing up, people are always asking like, what do you want to do with your life? And what do you see yourself doing? And I really honestly didn't have a clue in high school. I thought originally maybe something to do with engineering or like accounting, because I really like math. But then towards the end of high school, I started volunteering at a hospital, and I realized I really liked to work with patients, but I wasn't sure what my role could quite be. So I knew I wanted to go to URI, but I also didn't want to go in undecided at the moment and spend money just on gen eds. So I decided to go to CCRI for 2 years before, and they offered a program where you were able to get a scholarship to go to at URI. So I was able to do that just because I wanted to get my gen eds out of the way and kind of take that time. I worked two jobs all throughout like CCRI and URI, and I just wanted to take that time before to figure out what I wanted to major in and pursue, and just save some money on the way. So yeah.
Nice. So, what made you want to become an optometrist?
Um, a lot of things. So I've worn glasses since I was 5, and I've gone to the optometrist every year. And I felt like that I always had a good experience going there. But it never really was in the back of my mind to pursue optometry. Actually, at CCRI is where I figured it out. That's what I wanted to do. So I was in a biology class, and you were able to do an honors project with a professor or class that you wanted on basically anything you wanted to do. So I narrowed it down to kind of genetic engineering and vision. And I ended up doing a project on the evolution of the eye and vision science. And I was so enthralled and like passionate about learning how the visual system worked and just the anatomy of the photoreceptors and like everything to do with the eyes. I thought it was so awesome. Um, and at that time, I was also working at the hospital, and I liked working with patients. So I thought, why not combine these two kind of things together and pursue optometry? Um, and then after kind of researching more about optometrists and kind of seeing what their outlook in life was, I thought that was great because they had a great work-life balance. It was a clean career. You could own your own business, make your own hours. And then if you didn't want to do necessarily primary care, you could subspecialize, or you could do primary care and do something on the side and create your own sort of specialty clinic. So there's different avenues in optometry that I don't think are really widely known or heard about. So there's things like low vision, working with patients who have diseases and they can't basically get corrected to 20/20. So trying to help them see better and just accommodate for their daily living. There's more specialty contact lenses, special needs populations, vision therapy, sports therapy. There's just a lot of different avenues that I don't think are really widely known about yet. So I thought that was great that you could do primary care and then also something like that on the side too. So yeah.
Awesome. So, what made you choose New England College of Optometry, and what has your experience been like?
Yeah. So I think I shadowed about maybe 10 or 12 docs, and then I worked at two different practices. Um, and a lot of the optometrists went to NECO because it's very local to Rhode Island. And I went to a tour there, and first of all, it's in Back Bay in Boston. I'm not sure if you guys have been to Boston, but Back Bay is like the one of the most historic, beautiful areas. So that in itself was amazing. Also, the fact that when I went on my tour, it just seemed like more of a sense of community with the students. And I had just heard at URI and through other people that med school or just like PA or any kind of health professional program, it's kind of like more competitive once you're in the program and with other students and stuff. And it really seemed like a sense of community there where they all kind of got along. And I really found that to be true being here because everyone kind of helps each other out. Um, we're all like friends with each other. It's about 110 people in my class. So that was really great. But the main driving factor was the clinical experience at NECO. So we are affiliated with, I think, 150 sites around the country and just the world in general. So on your fourth year, you go on 4 different rotations. But before that, you are in clinic. So a lot of optometry schools in the US start your clinic in second or third year, but we started seeing patients in our first year. So we went on different kinds of screenings at schools for kids to identify like refractive errors or any kind of binocular vision anomalies that they had. So in my first, I think, second week of school, I started seeing kids. And I thought that was really awesome that they started you out so early. And then in second year, we had clinic once a week. So that was great because other schools, I think you started around your third year. And then in third year, now we're in clinic twice a week. And fourth year, you're there full time. So I thought that was, I don't know, I learned best from experience and just like hands-on. So I really wanted to have that kind of early clinical experience and just being in Boston. It's such a very rich, vibrant, like young health community here. There's so many hospitals. And there's just so many different community health centers in different populations. And being able to like learn how to do an eye exam in Spanish, like now I know how to do that. And just, I think Boston just gives you a lot of opportunity as well. So definitely when you're looking at schools, like try and get a sense of the community because that's who you'll be working with and studying with. And yeah, just try and talk to some students, maybe go on tours before and, you know, email your the tour guides and get to know them after. Um, yeah. So I'm trying to think what else, why not go, but yeah, also board pass rates, look at those, make sure you're going to a school, you know, with very good board scores, because in the end, like that's, you know, that's how you get your license. And for optometry, there's only, when I was applying, there was only 21 schools in the country. So it's, I think med schools are maybe 150 or something really high like that. But yeah, just making sure you know what schools to apply to and really taking a look at their prereqs too, because I know URI has a sheet for most of the prereqs, but certain programs could be like 1 or 2 different classes. So you just want to make sure you get those all squared away and set too.
Awesome. So what was your pre-optometry experience like? Had you gained experience and like what kind of things were you involved in on campus at URI?
Yeah, so I mentioned I was a tech. I feel like, as you guys know, I'm sure like getting experience in that field is the most valuable thing, I think. Um, and maybe like different modes of practice too, just to kind of, you know, see different possible practice like things in the future, and what avenue you want to pursue. So I worked as a tech at more of a corporate location at first, and then I worked as a tech at a private practice, and we did private practice some days, and then other days were like traveling to different nursing homes in the state and like community health centers. So it's like a totally different world seeing those 2 different, like 3 different modes of practice. So yeah, and just I guess networking helped a lot. So at URI, I was a UTA for biolabs, and then a TA for Dr. LeBrun's. I don't know if he's there anymore, but he had a really good honors course, Emerging Infectious Diseases in Developing Nations. So I was a health studies major, and I was really interested in public health and epidemiology. So because I was a transfer student, I wasn't able to do the honors program because I think you have to start out as a freshman and then you have to take all of these classes. But if you're able to like take some honors courses here and there, I think that was really great. And with the small class sizes. So definitely taking, I guess, getting some like leadership activities. Yeah. And then what else did I do? I did an independent research study in one of my health studies classes, and then I ended up going to the APHA, which is the American Public Health Association conference in Atlanta. And that was just because I had extra spots to kind of fill in for classes, like at the very last semester. So I think it's really important to kind of find a mentor too, if you can, and try and work with work with them on a project on something that you're interested in. And I'm trying to think too, like, so I was a health studies major and bio minor, but I think I was a couple, maybe 2 classes away from double majoring in bio. But with the whole transfer and just wanted to graduate on time, I in the time that the classes were offered, it just didn't work out to double major. But I had another opportunity to kind of fill in an elective. So I took business 450, which was small business entrepreneurial class. So what we did was we modeled and created your own small business and made like a feasibility analysis and figured out all the financials for that. So even though that's not, science or health related, I thought that it was important to kind of like just take classes that you wouldn't normally do that might help you in some certain way. Yeah.
What is any like last advice that you have for a pre-optometry student or even just a pre-health student?
Yeah. So I think definitely researching the schools that you want to apply to and just think of it in the long term. And when you go on your interviews, just really being yourself, because it's just you and that person, like possibly multiple interviews, and they can tell if you're faking it or if you're not telling the truth about a certain experience. So just being true to yourself and just really like thinking about what makes you want to really pursue that field, that what you're doing, and showcasing that through your different experiences. And also, I don't know how it is for different applications, but for optometry school, there was a certain amount of characters that you could write for every activity that you wanted to list. And I didn't really want to just list, at this place I did this or whatever. I think when you're in the moment and doing that certain activity, kind of just thinking, how does this help me in the future to becoming like a better physician, or how can I use this to like just like I'm trying to think what I want to say. Like just applying it to yourself later and being able to like reflect on your experiences and like how that can help you as a future provider. Yeah, and just basically, I don't know, trying to get out of your comfort zone with different leadership activities or things like that. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Doria. Do you have any other questions that you'd like to ask?
No, I think we're all set. Thank you so much.
Awesome. No problem.